So with the recent chapter that had just been released, Kijimoto has made a lot of people quite happy, as they believe that Momoshiki can no longer revive himself in Boruto. So people are quite happy. They believe that Boruto's situation is fixed and all their attention can be devoted into finding a way to defeat Ida and prevent Code from getting his limiters removed. But this is not the truth. Not much has changed with Boruto's situation. You see, even though Momoshiki can no longer revive himself in Boruto, he can still control him. This is clearly stated to us by Amato in chapter 68, where he tells us that Momoshiki can still take over Boruto's body from time to time. But people say, oh, Boruto said that he feels like he can control Momoshiki's power, so that means that Momoshiki will not be able to control him, which is why he stopped taking the pills. This way of thinking is flawed because, first of all, Boruto being able to control Momoshiki's power has nothing to do with Momoshiki not being able to possess him. During the fight between Boruto and Code, Boruto was able to tap into Momoshiki's thousands and hundreds of years of experience and use it to fight versus Code. This is an example of Boruto controlling Momoshiki's power. Just like Kawaki using Ishiki's dojutsu is an example of Kawaki controlling Ishiki's power. So saying that Boruto, because he is able to use Momoshiki's abilities better now that he is an Otsutsuki, doesn't mean that he can prevent Momoshiki from possessing him time to time, because these two ideas are different and cannot be linked. Some of you may disagree and say that Boruto stopped taking the pills because he can prevent Momoshiki from possessing him. This is not the case, because the purpose of the pills is to slow down the ossification that was taking place in Boruto's body. And we saw, even though Boruto was able to take the pills and continue taking the pills during and before the Code fight, Momoshiki was able to control him. So the real reason why Boruto stopped taking the pills is because the pills prevented him from using the karma at its full potential for a long period of time. This was proven during the Boruto fight versus Code, where Boruto basically had a heart attack from using the karma at such a high level while taking the pills. So the main reason why Boruto has decided to stop taking the pills is so that he wouldn't harm himself while using the karma. This means that Boruto is still a threat for both the village and the shinobi world as a whole. Now put yourself in the other Kage's place for a minute. You have a 12 or 13-year-old kid who is currently stronger than anyone you know. In addition, he has some sort of parasite that can control his body, and when he does control his body, he has the potential of destroying an entire planet. Would you allow that person to live? Or would you hunt him down? Would you keep your children near him? Be honest. Would you let anyone you love get close to him? The answer is no. So what do you think the Kages will do when they find out and hear that Momoshiki took control of Boruto again? You see, this scenario has already been foreshadowed to us when Boruto destroyed Sasuke's Rinnegan and the Kages learned about it. When they learned about it, they told Naruto that if Momoshiki should take control of Boruto again, he should be killed, and Naruto said he understood. But we all know that Naruto will not kill Boruto. This is just not part of his character. So there are two scenarios that I see happening that will go along with Naruto's character and the basic plot of Boruto. So the first scenario is quite simple. The Kages learn about what happened with Boruto and Momoshiki, so they start sending assassins to come and kill Boruto. This could potentially help develop other characters outside the Leaf Village. So when they send these assassins, they come and try and kill him. Boruto obviously will be able to destroy them and easily beat them, but during this time, they could potentially hurt or kill the people around Boruto. Boruto, seeing and realizing that he has become a threat, will decide to leave the village. Option 2. The Kages tell Naruto to kill Boruto, and obviously he won't do that, but they actually come up with a plan. They come up with a plan to hide or fake Boruto's death and create a story saying that Boruto was eliminated because he was becoming a danger to the village. So the only people who will know the truth is Naruto, Sasuke, and Kawaki. Sasuke will be the one blamed for his death, as Sasuke has taken a role similar to Itachi in the past. This matches the current narrative of Sasuke's character, as in chapter 69, he has stated that if the village should hate someone, it should be him. Boruto will leave the village and Sasuke could potentially join him, which is where we will see Sasuke and Boruto deepen their relationship and train to lead to the time skip. This will cause Sadara, Mitsuki, and the rest of the next generation to want to train so that something like this would never have to happen again. However, these theories heavily rely and depend on Naruto telling the Kages that Boruto was possessed by Momoshiki again. So we have to examine the other side. What if Naruto doesn't tell them that Momoshiki took control of Boruto again? This would prevent Boruto from being hunted down by the Kages and the other villages. So a scenario that could happen is something that I discussed in the past that would lead to Boruto leaving. So in my past video, I discussed a possibility of Sasuke getting killed by Boruto, or at least Momoshiki. There is a strong possibility that this will happen because Sasuke's resolve is heavily linked to Boruto's well-being. If Momoshiki takes control of Boruto, he will be way stronger as Boruto is now a full Otsutsuki, which will make it easier for him to kill Sasuke. And to be honest, it will be Boruto's fault because he decided to stop taking the pills. So by Boruto choosing not to take the pills, it is a bit of his responsibility if Momoshiki takes over his body. This will push Boruto to leave the village if he harms someone else if Momoshiki is to take his body. That person will most likely be Sasuke. So here is a scenario that I believe could potentially happen. Sasuke will train Boruto at the end of this arc. This is where we will see Boruto learn how to use his sword and improve his lightning style abilities. This will take place in the village as there is no real reason for them to leave the village. And after their training, something will happen where Boruto will kill Sasuke. The side effects of Boruto's actions will push him to leave the village and be wanted by all nations. He won't tell his father, he won't tell his mother, or friends about what happened, apart from Kawaki, which is where we will see Boruto's dark path truly begin. So what do you believe will happen? How do you believe Boruto will leave the village? One of my subscribers, Big Sam, has summarized the main points and the main reasons why Boruto will leave the village. The first option is that Boruto kills Sasuke, as I have mentioned, and feels guilty about it and decides to leave the village. The second option is that Boruto leaves the village because he's trying to hunt down other Otsutsukis. The third one is that Kawaki leaves the village for some odd reason and he decides to go and search for him. The fourth and final reason is that the Kages basically start looking for him and tell him to leave the village because of the fear that Momoshiki might take over and harm or potentially kill someone. These are the main reasons why Boruto may go rogue. So I have one thing for you guys to do. Let me know how you believe Boruto will leave the village by liking 1, 2, 3, or 4, which correspond to the theories that Big Sam mentioned. Go to the comment section down below and check the pinned comment and like the number of the theory you agreed with. But Boruto leaving is not the only pain that we will experience. Sasuke's death will be even worse. Watch this video right here to find out how Sasuke will die.